Number 95. Let's dive into today's session. We see in the news here S&P 500 clawing back losses as investors shake off Moody's downgrade. So we had a downgrade today. Let's dive into what it's all about. S&P 500 clawing back its early losses today as Treasury yields traded off their lowest levels. We have benchmark added 0.2, while Dow Industrial Average rose 165 points, 0.4%. The Nasdaq was trading less than 0.1 higher. With Treasury yields spiked after Moody's lowered the U.S. credit rating down one notch to A1 from AA, bringing the agency in line with peers. The firm cited financing challenges tied to the federal government's growing budget deficit and the ramifications of rolling over existing U.S. debts in a period of high borrowing costs, guys. So that downgrade kind of shook up the market this morning. The debt downgrade pressured bond prices, sending yields higher at a time when the economy is already waiting the full impact of President Donald Trump's unfolding tariff policies. The 30-year U.S. bond yield traded above 5% on Monday, and the 10-year yield topped 4.5%, levels that hurt equity markets last month and helped lead Trump to back off his stiffest tariff measures. Rates on mortgages, car loans, and credit cards track the 10-year yield, guys. So all that today kind of spooked the market, kind of was trading down on the day, and now we're trying to fight back. So here we go. Stocks had fallen sharply in today's pre-market session, with Dow futures down more than 300 points. However, the major averages paired their early losses as Treasury yields retreated from their highs of the day. The Moody's report didn't highlight anything that every investor doesn't already know about the U.S. fiscal situation, said Ross Mayfield, investment analyst at Baird. To me, it's just kind of provided a little bit of cover for the market to take a breather here, but nothing that structurally changes to our bullishness on where we think we'll be in the next 6 to 12 months. That's Ross Mayfield. Traders now see more trade deals as key to keeping the stock market comeback going if higher yields don't scare away investors first. So that news today kind of the Moody's downgrade kind of spooked investors this morning. A lot of people sold out stocks today. The market really coming down on that news, but we're fighting back, guys. So we have SPX still. This is a 6-month 4-hour chart here. We still see it at a 74 RSI level, guys. So we don't see any damage to this chart here as far due to today's news, the Moody's news. So we have the account sitting at 27,675 here. We have a total market value 11.9 here, and cash 15.7. So we're really high in cash. We gotta start unloading more. We are going to be getting more cash freed up since we're going to be trimming here again. So let's go ahead and start with that. We already wrote down the ones we're going to trim today, guys. So let's go ahead and trim the first stock here, and that's going to be Tesla, guys. So I'm going to write down the average price here, 272.98. Alright, guys, so let's go ahead and trim one share of Tesla here. Alright, so we got one share of Tesla here, 349.8. Get back, let's go ahead and do that here. One share of Tesla sold at 340.93. On that trim, we sold 340.93. You subtract the average cost here, 272.98. 67, guys, on the Tesla trim. All right, now we're gonna go to our second trim of the day, and that's going to be NVIDIA, guys. We're gonna be trimming 2 shares of this one. Let's go ahead and write this down here. And we have it at a 109.98, guys. And we are gonna now sell to alright, we sold at 135.61. Let's go switch this song here. So 135.91, or sorry, 135.61, guys. Subtract 109, the average cost. That is 25.63 per share. Remember, we sold 2, so that is 51, guys. 51.26 profit on NVIDIA. All right, already above $100 profit on the day here so far. Our next one's going to be Hood, guys. Hood. We didn't really go over the stocks. We see, Tesla 61. That's close to, overbought. And then NVIDIA, we have a 65. That's close to the 70 overbought level. So these stocks are, close to overbought levels. So now let's go to the third stock we're going to trim today. That is going to be Hood. We have a 43.16 average cost. Let's go ahead and trim 2 shares. Alright, so we sold at, looks like 63.36. That is, looks like $20 per share. Let's go ahead and 63.36, subtract the average cost. $20.20. We sold 2 of these guys, so that was around $40.40. All right, and lastly, guys, we are going to be trimming one more stock here. That is IonQ. We see this at a 58 RSI level here, and we're going to trim 5 of these guys. So let's write this down. We have an average cost of $25.91. Let's go ahead and trim 5 of these guys. Alright, we sold at 34.17, and if we do the math here, 34.17 subtract 25.91, that's $8.26 per share. We sold 5 of them, so that is $41.30 from that trim. Alright, guys, to add everything up here, that's all we're going to trim today. But we have our Tesla 67.95. We had our NVIDIA 51.26. We had our Hood 40.40. And then we had IonQ, and that was 41.30. So total today, total profit is 291. So yep, that was Tesla, NVIDIA, Hood, and IonQ that we trimmed today. Alright, guys, so now for the buy of the day. We already know which one we're going to buy today. That's going to be Apple. We're kind of making a big position into this stock here, and we see it really still, I think, a deal range here. We have 50 fair value of 49 RSI level. We see that at 208 level, and at a high here of 259. So really trending downward here. And if everything goes according to plan, Federal Reserve starts cutting rates, tariffs, and everything else, they had in a good earnings, then we could see Apple really come back up to the strong level of the highs of 259, and to buy it at a 288, like, that's insane, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and do our $50 buy into Apple today, guys. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, $50 buy Apple. All right, guys. So we got it at 208.40. So that's what we did. Buy of the day on Apple here, guys. So that pretty much wraps up our session today. Session number 95, trimming out $200 profit, 9-1. That'll go straight to the Mogul Pot towards our case studies, long-term investments, and then we bought Apple today for our buy of the day. If you guys want to see other buy of the days or for the rest of the week, we buy every trading day. Get into the Discord, guys. Go over to mogulfellows.com. Check out membership options. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, hit the outro.